Ryan, thank you so much for coming out and talking to the students here and doing your show. I know it's invaluable experience that they received today.
Yeah, I think that for people that are on air talents, it's just very important that we understand that we have to tell people about the process, because a lot of times they just see where we are now, but they don't understand that we were at one point in our careers equally yoked, where I was that guy that was, in the front, there's a person who knows all the answers. In the back, there's a person who doesn't care. And in the middle is the guy that was me, who was basically like, I don't know what I want to do, and to say it's okay. That's okay to be that person, but you got to start getting a plan and getting a goal and actually, putting that into action. So that was our goal today, to show them that they had to do that.
And I think you did a great job at
Thank
that. You have a lot of passion and a lot of energy on the air. What drives you to wake up every morning at 4, 5 in the morning to get to your show at 6?
I mean, well, I tell people all the time that it doesn't matter what's going on in my life, whether it's a basketball game or an event, the clock goes off at 3:45 no matter what. And to have that discipline to say, no matter what you're doing, that it goes off at 3:45. And I have had times where I've had to say no to things. Friends come in town, man, tonight we're going out. What night is it? Oh, it's Sunday night. I'm not doing that. It's Monday. I'm not doing that. And what drives me is the fact that I get to be the first voice that people hear after they open their eyes. It's almost like the arena job, I'm like, when I said this to some people one time in the audience, they didn't get it. They thought it was arrogant. But if you come from drama, VOG is voice of God, meaning that, you're the omnipotent one. And so in the arena, when I say something, it's 20,000 people who are listening to me. And on the radio, it's 1 million people who are listening to me. Who wouldn't get a rush out of that? Who would get a charge out of that? So, right. That's what's cool about it, because I love the fact that I have an audience. I can see them visually with a basketball, and I can get them with the audio with the radio.
What I love about you is your story and how you said you used to work at Blockbuster, and that was your beginning, and
That's
then
right.
an internship at a radio station, and now you're host of the #1 show, morning show in Atlanta. Is for students who are interested in getting into media, where would you suggest they start?
Well, I don't know when this is going to air, but I get the question all the time. I want to do what you do. Okay, well, send me a tape. I don't have a tape. I think, a guy will come up, he's trying to give me a voice. You know what, Joe, I think that I can. I'm like, oh, you do voiceovers? Yes, I do. Well, give me a tape. I don't have a tape. And that's why Rachel Barbeau and I came up with this boot camp idea, which is for voiceovers, for music production, for on-camera talent, for sideline reporting, for radio broadcasting, a day of the movers and shakers that they can go to the megamediabootcamp.com. It's on June 6th, and ask all those questions from people not only who make the decisions, but who can also hire you or lead you to the next spot, because the problem is you have no way to showcase yourself. You have no way to put your skills out there for those people, because these are people that you may never encounter again. So that was the first step of trying to do something like this. The next thing is to tell people that, if you come across somebody, that you got to be able to, like I talked about in there with the students, it's what is your elevator speech? What is it going to be that's going to separate yourself? Because that's great in there, and it's all camaraderie and everybody together, but it's a dogfight out there, and it's going to come down to somebody, drawing a line under your name or drawing a line through it, and you want to be under.
You're very involved in the community. You have your own foundation.
Yeah.
What inspires you to do that? Because that's certainly not something that you have to do.
Well, you know what? I think it's almost like with me, my grandmother, who's now, passed on, but when I was a kid, she was always giving back. She was always doing something, either at the church or, she would take me down. Here I am, like a little kid, 8 or 9 years old, and she would take me down to the church and make me give soup. They called them soup kitchens. They weren't homeless then. It was just people in there were soup kitchens, and we would give out sandwiches and soup, and I would have to do that, and I'd be scared. I didn't know these people, but the looks on their faces made me understand why important it was to give back. And so now, with my old neighborhood, we have a community garden on one end, and then we have a highway cleanup on the other end. That's based on the Ryan Cameron Foundation. That's all around the fact that giving back I always believe, and I say that favor isn't fair, is that if you give good, you get good. And a lot of people don't understand that, but when I tell you this, the more I give back to the community, the more opportunities I get. And I believe that there's synergy there, and it's not a coincidence, that it's not luck, it's not a break. It's the fact that somewhere somebody's seeing something that I'm doing, and now I'm being known more for my community work than I am for my radio work, which is absolutely fine with me.
Great. Well, thank you so much for all you do for the industry and all you do for the community. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.